Hello everyone, hope you're well, thanks for joining us. And today we're going to be looking at Kanopy. So, in these how to guide series, we looked at Boxer Broadcasts already and as a streaming service for on demand TV and radio and programs. So, Kanopy is the film side of those and documentary side of those streaming sort of services. So, we're going to go have a look at it today. So please, if you haven't looked at the Boxer Broadcast guide already, please have a look at that. So we're going to dive straight in. So in terms of finding Kanopy, there's two sort of quick ways to do it. The first one is a simple Google search. So if we search University of Westminster Kanopy, it should come up as the first search. Here you can click on it and you get presented with this sort of landing page, and you just need to click visit the Westminster collection, access through your university, and you click log into Westminster and it'll prompt you to log in with your university ID. The other way of doing it is going through, similarly to the Boxer Broadcast ones, you go through little library guides. So you find Student Hub and you navigate to the library search, so click either of these buttons. And either you can click this in the navigation bar, the library guides, or this little link here, and it guides you to this page. I was saying in the other video, these are very useful resources for each subject, so please make full use of them. And they're sort of tailor-made written guides for each subject and what resources are available for them. Of course, Kanopy and Boxer Broadcasts are available for all students at Westminster. You can find them, however, in the film guide. It's probably the easiest way to navigate to them. And you get to streaming services. Boxer Broadcast, we've explored that already, and Kanopy is here. So we just click on that, and it should take us to the same landing page. And we want to visit the Westminster collection and click login. So I'm already logged in. It'll prompt you with a login page to use. And yeah, this is what the homepage of Kanopy looks like. And initially, it can be a bit difficult to figure out sort of where to start. On the surface of it, it's very simple. It's just a streaming site of loads of different films and documentaries that are useful for sort of having a look at for studies and just analysing in an academic context. There are a lot of new films as well, which we will explore. So if you simply just wanted to use it as a free streaming service that the university gives you, that is also an option as well, and it can be quite good in that sense, because there might be some films on here that means you can avoid paying for other services like Amazon or Netflix. So we'll start with this here. So this is what the homepage looks like. If you scroll down, you see the different collections that they put up. So you have documentaries, Criterion Collection, Women's History Month. So Kanopy creates and curates these collections specifically for the purposes of people being able to find stuff a bit better, and it groups stuff together. So if you're doing film studies, for example, a lot of these programs would be useful, and if you're doing stuff based on theatre, a lot of these stuff would be useful, for example. So as you can see, let's get this out of the way. This newly added movies part here, as you can see, there is a few sort of new movies on here as well. So The Wild Robot and Transformers 1 that came out sort of last year. They're very recent, so you can find them on here as well. I can click on one of these. I won't be able to show you the film playing just due to copyright on YouTube, but if you click on the film, it gives you all the details on the film, so in terms of the director, the cast, the genres that thing it has, and also just the different tags that you can find it under. It just helps you to find sort of sections. You can click read more to find a full synopsis of the film. This one is captioned. Most of the content on Kanopy is captioned just for better accessibility. And if you just click play, it will basically play full screen. So pretty much there. And as you can see, the Universal logo comes up. So I won't be able to show you much more of that again due to copyright. But it's a great film. I do recommend it. So if you do want to go have a watch of it for free, come to Kanopy. So back to the homepage. and we have all of these separate collections sort of together. So, for example, Kanopy advertises it here. If I wanted to look at films from the BFI, I can click Watch Now, and it gives me all of these separate collections. And a lot of this stuff, again, might be a BFI player, but saves you the money because the university gives you a Kanopy subscription for free. So it means you can save money paying for that, and you can find a lot of the films that you might need here. And the great thing is Kanopy is constantly keeping this up to date, as you can see by the new films and stuff that's newly added, both new and old films and classics as well. So while the university does have a DVD collection in the Harrow Library, this is another way to sort of keep up to date with the films that the university provides for you. So I'm just going to scroll down so you can see the types of films they have. A lot of international films, some anime, as you can see, and short films as well. And there's loads of different categories. The best way to find and navigate through these categories, if you're looking for something in particular, let's say if you're looking for films in a certain language, you can click the search bar here, and this will give you some filters that you can go through. So you can obviously, if you're looking for a specific title, you can search it here. So I can search, maybe if I search animation, it comes up with a lot of animated films or stuff that matches the title, like Animal, for example, very closely. And if I was searching for a title in particular, so for example, I'm looking for the film If, which is sort of a live action animated hybrid, the film comes up. Again, it's another new film that is on there, and another one that I could recommend for you. So here are the filters on the left side, and you can filter them obviously by A to Z, most recently added, if you're looking for the newest programs that are on there. If you want to filter by language, you can click more, and as you can see, there is a massive range of languages that you can choose from. So if I'm looking in something in Turkish, for example, I can see all the programs that they have in Turkish. And similarly, if I wanted to look at something in Arabic, I am presented with loads of different films. And this covers a sort of short film, documentary, and feature film as well. So there's quite a lot to sort of take in here. I can look at if the film has captions or not. And most of these will, because they are international films. And I can look at the caption language as well. So if I wanted the captions in Arabic, this one has. So if I'm looking for the captions in English, I can filter by language here, and that will come up for me. This tab at the bottom is also quite interesting. I'll just disable this filter for now. Public performance rights available. So if you wanted to screen one of these films in a public setting, it means that there is a possibility that you can do it. Because usually in the UK, with public screenings and using any of these films from the streaming services to screen in a public place, a lot of them have copyright issues attached and screening issues, screening rights. So you wouldn't be able to do that. But if I tick this filter here, all these films you can see, you can get a license to screen them publicly in a public setting. So for example, if you want to do a screening at university in a classroom or a lecture theatre, for example, or the dubbing theatre, for example, in Harrow, you could do that using this. So I'll just go ahead and untick that. The other filters are by subject, and this one I find quite interesting. So if you're looking for something very specific in terms of you study psychology or sociology, you can look for films and documentaries that fit that bill. So for example, I study psychology, and it comes up with all of these films that match that subject. So that's the search filter. If you're looking for subject-based content, the other way to find it is through browser. You just hover over this and you get these subjects here in this little layout. And this breaks it down even further. So if, for example, I study sciences, if I'd say, it breaks it down into all of the different sciences. So I have environmental sciences, computer science, astronomy, and it's all very well organized. It's all very sort of like tailor-made to subjects that you study, and that's the really useful thing about Kanopy. it makes stuff so easy to find. And if you're just looking for content to aid your studies, or you're looking for stuff in particular, or documentaries about a very certain, for example, like dinosaurs, for example, or wildlife, a lot of the stuff you can find in here can be quite useful for your studies as well. And also, if I click on this one here, and you can see this is a film called Mountain, a documentary, and if I scroll down, I get given related videos as well. Again, it's another useful thing if I'm looking for related things to the film. And if I click the share button here, I then get given a link to share it. Again, everyone that's using it needs to have their own Kanopy subscription, and you can embed the video as well. And then you get given the citation tool. So if you want to cite this film, if you're going to use it as part of a dissertation or an essay, then you get the different citing methods here. Again, just double check that these referencing styles do match what your lecturers and your teaching staff require from you. But you get given different options here, which is quite handy. And yeah, if you scroll to the top right, you get given this here. You won't need to. You can create a separate account if you wish, and that will let you sort of bookmark and save different films. You don't have to, however, because you've just logged in with your Westminster Kanopy account. So you don't need to create that. You don't need to create a separate account for it. But this is a sort of good way to start. So that is the guide on Kanopy done. It's a very simple software, and again, it's a sort of very in-depth streaming service, and it has a lot of great films, like a lot of new films as well, and a lot of ones that might go under the radar a little bit, but that can be quite useful to your degree and your studies. So I would definitely recommend making the most of this service while you're at Westminster. It's completely free. You just need your university login, and you have access to sort of hundreds, thousands of bits of content. So I would definitely recommend it. And that is the guide done. So please do recommend. Please put in the comment section if you would like guides on any other subjects, and if there are any other services that the university provides that you would like a similar how-to guide on, and we'd be more than happy to do that for you.